Welcome back to Civil Discourse Now. I am not Paul Ogden.
And I'm not Mark Small.
Oh, you just copied what I said.
100% chance of rain, Mark, here at 7 o'clock.
Okay, that's not possible.
That's what it says on weather.com.
No,
100%
I don't care.
chance of rain.
There could be a nuclear war. I mean, there can never be 100% certainty of anything. It's
on the internet. It's got to be true.
Well, we're here at the Indianapolis Museum of Art during the Indianapolis International Film Festival, and this is July 26, 2012, Mick Jagger's birthday. Our guest is a director who has a film in the festival, Greg Oppman. Welcome to the show, Greg.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Greg?
The title of your film is Girlie Jar, and it's an animated film. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
What I'm curious about, sorry to interrupt, Mark, animation. That has to change a lot over the years. I mean, it used to be, didn't they physically draw pictures and do one after another? And they don't do that anymore?
They still do that. 2D animation is coming back strong. And 3D,
it's
2D animation, 2D cel-drawn, so hand-drawn.
2D. Second
2D. So just hand-drawn, painted, sketched. It's coming back. Disney did a Princess and the Frog a couple of years ago, so they are still working in 2D format in that medium of animation. But 3D kicked off strong with in the late 80s, early 90s, and mid 90s. It just took off.
And that's what your film is?
Yes, it's a 3D animation-based short film.
Okay, and when you say 3D, were you using like figures, clay figures, or plastic figures?
All the assets were built within 3D software, so Maya, 3D Max, Softimage, those types of softwares.
Oh, okay.
So everything's built digitally.
So you didn't use cameras as such?
No, but there's cameras in the software that we position and stuff, and we have all the attributes that a regular camera has just in a digital format in the computer.
Okay, and I'm
fascinating.
It's fascinating. I'm showing my ignorance of this stuff, but it's really kind of cool. So you literally have a world created inside the world of the film.
Exactly. You can build anything that you want to build off of any reference that you put into it. So, but you have to do it by hand. So you're moving like a mesh, which is based off of points.
Do it by hand.
Yeah. So you sculpt it by hand. You can do that, or just use your mouse and move points and add squares or polygons to the actual mesh to develop it.
Okay.
And then you get to move it after that. So it's.
And we say move things by hand. You're not talking about physically moving something. You're talking about on the computer.
Yeah, on the computer with your mouse. Okay. You're just moving the mouse. So.
Yeah. Look at me like you know all this stuff.
Well, I know some of it.
Not really.
Before we go any further, if someone was wanting to access your work online, and do you have a website or some kind of contact information?
I do have a website with a demo reel. It's gregoppman.com. It's just
how do you spell that, Greg?
GREGOPPMAN.com.
Okay.
Just type that into the browser, and all my information will pop up. I have a little blog, my portfolio site, so you can see my demo reel and works in progress.
And you're a student here at IUPUI?
I just graduated, so I'm a recent graduate.
Okay.
And this is my sort of capstone thesis piece.
Okay.
But it was my senior project, so.
Okay. Is this the first festival in which you've had an entry?
I was accepted into the Heartland Film Festival for last October, so October 2011.
Was it the same work?
Same work, yep. Okay. So it's just going through this festival circuit right now.
Are you working on something else at this point?
I have a few scripts in play. I have 2 different scripts that I've been working on. I have sort of a first draft of one, and then a final draft of another. And then I'm working on another project, another 3D animation with a buddy of mine. So I'm going to help with production. He's directing it. So.
And this is it's a 2-minute. It's about a guy coming in from the Texas oil fields, and he wants to have a pickle on his burger.
Yep, exactly.
And just all the anxiety and what he has to deal with on that.
Yep, just the frustration of trying to open the jar, and the trials that he goes through to open the jar.
So you try different ways of opening the jar.
Yep, and it's just a playful punchline comedy on the struggles that everybody has on opening a jar.
Mm-hmm. Does he kind of pound it on things?
Oh yeah.
Kind of thing. Then you get the rag and.
Oh yeah, the tap it on the edge with the lid and
all the different ways.
And you had to do all of that, and you had to sculpt that through the software.
Yep. So it's everything that a film takes on, such as pre-production, then you go into production, just everything's done through digital format. So instead of live actors, we built the characters and with the meshes and stuff, and sculpted their faces, and then we painted the skin on them to look real or stylized in that matter. But then we built the skeletal system, so then the animator can go in and move its hand or its fingers, or like move its blink its eye. So it's like a puppet inside a computer that an animator manipulates.
How many people worked on this?
I did a majority of it, but then I had my two buddies who are animators. I was more skilled and trained on the technical side of producing 3D animation shorts or 3D animated pieces. So they animated it. I had a 2D texture artist involved. I had an individual help me with some rendering. So you have to take that 3D space I was talking about and put it into a 2D frame. So then you can push it into like post-production, like coloring or that matter, just like film. It's 2D, so we have to make it 2D. And that's called rendering. And we use about 3 to 4 machines to do that. And my buddy helped me out with that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is you don't have to pay actors.
That's right.
And
That's right.
Always a bonus. What's the inspiration for this project?
Well, the inspiration was...
It comes based in 1963, correct?
Yeah, definitely. So
1963 in Texas. We all know what happened in 1963 in Texas.
There was a shooting, I do believe.
So there's a conspiracy kind of angle on the pickle here?
Not exactly.
Was it a single pickle theory?
Kind of, you guys can think what you want. That's the imagination part of it. But hey, it's just a fun era. I thought.
I'm a realist. He's a Republican, he's in. Go ahead.
But it's just a fun era of design, I thought, and I liked the time period of the late 50s and early 60s within just how things were being designed, interior design, product design, and just sort of the culture around that. And I thought it would kind of play to the humorous fact of having this guy from Texas and a veteran of the Korean War struggling to open a pickle jar. I mean, I just kind of...
And then his daughter comes in, correct?
And then his daughter comes in,
and
twig arms,
twig arms, and she can...
Yeah, just works her magic. Yep.
Get it open. But maybe he loosened the jar for her.
It could be a possibility, you never know.
That's what I would think probably happened. So.
Did you go out and look at... specifically to look at period pieces of furniture or appliances and stuff?
Oh yeah, so my mom's an interior designer, so she has all these collections of books from that period and for reference, and I was like, oh, this is a perfect library.
It was a great period.
So I went through her collection of books of representing interior design for that period of time, and then I found a blog/website called retrorenovation.com. And they have links to other blogs that catalog this era within appliances, cabinets, fridges, stoves, ovens. You want to know what there is out there? You can find it there.
Oh, that's
cool. 1963, yeah.
Did you do the same thing with the pickles?
I actually bought a jar of pickles and I photographed it for reference, and then I used those sort of orthographic views I had, and I pushed it into the software, and then I built the actual pickle off that reference, and then textured it off of that texture that I pulled off.
Were these dill pickles?
Dill pickles, yeah.
They were dills, they weren't gherkins?
Yeah, just dills. Sweet dills.
I prefer sweet pickles myself.
I've never cared for pickles myself.
Yeah.
But that's a matter of preference.
It is a matter of preference.
So you're, in terms of the body of work that you're looking at long term, what are you want to do longer animated works?
Kind of depends. I thought with the minute to 2 minute piece, it was ideal because I wanted to take on realism and contrast that to a stylized character, which many studios that do feature film production within 3D animation take on that, such as Pixar or DreamWorks. Characters are very simple shapes, but then I wanted to try and render realism within the set. And that's why I had time limitations because of the rendering involved. It took 2 months to render this. And that was test rendering and final renders in that. So there's time limitations.
And rendering is the process of creating the characters that move.
Yes, that plus taking all of that space in the 3D software and making it into a 2D image that you can then use in post.
Okay.
So really in rendering, it's compiling all that data that you put into it to make it move and stuff, and then it's making it into one single image.
You see, I was raised near Kokomo, and rendering means hauling dead livestock.
Oh.
That's one.
Yeah,
So
that's one form.
So you're using a different term, and I'm sitting going, okay, okay, you're rendering it. That was 2 minutes for a 2 minute short.
It
Or
was
2 months for a 2 minute short.
No, it was about 5 months. 5 months to do a 2 minute short.
I'm sorry, 5 months.
Yeah.
Wow. So are you doing another projects?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you looking at other festivals?
Yes. Yep. We'll see what other festivals. I haven't heard back from a few yet, but it's still going. But hopefully we'll hit a few more.
It's cool.
Well, I think it's good you can replace actors with these animated figures. You don't have to deal with their egos or pay them.
Well, we could do that.
We could do that with attorneys.
Political things.
Political.
We could replace members of Congress with.
Good. With a hologram. You can do 3D hologram. Like they did, Digital Domain did a hologram of Tupac Shakur.
Yeah,
and they
I
actually
read about that.
Yeah, so you can actually kind of replace a live person.
Firesign Theater had an entire fair called the Future Fair that was all holograms, but that was a stereo album.
Okay.
Albums were like pieces of vinyl in the late 20th century that you'd put on a round turntable and you'd take a needle and it would play music off
Nice.
of it.
So this is being shown one more time for this film festival Saturday at the Earth House, I do believe. That's what it says right
Yes.
here.
Yep.
10:30 p.m.
It's a collection of all the animation or the animated shorts here at the Indie Film Fest.
How many are there?
I think there's about 6 in that showing,
So,
which is nice. It's going to be a great showing, I think.
well, best of luck to you on that.
Good luck. Appreciate it. Good meeting you.
Thanks for having me.
Greg, good meeting you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show. Thanks for watching.
And